Hello, my friends. I am here with you today for your tip a day in May for May 11th. This is Wednesday. All right, so it's not going to take me very long, but this is very, very important for you to know, is how to store all of your different inks. Okay, so I'm specifically talking about Close to My Heart inks, but I think this will apply in most cases to other types of inks as well. So first of all, we have our regular ink pads and we have our pigment ink pads. They are designed the same way, and that is with the ink in the top of the case. And this is done very purposefully so that when you open it at any time, the ink is all down at the surface of the pad, so it's ready to go whenever you want to use it. All right, so please do not store them this way. All right, or this way, or this way. Whoops. All right, you want to always store them in an upright position, just like this. So you can see the top and you can see the name of the ink. All right, and that way you know that the ink is always going to be ready to go. And if you store it this way or this way, you stand the chance of the ink actually running out of the pad and leaking all over the place. All right, so very, very important. All right, next is our shimmer brushes. Okay, and I'm pretty sure, like, I know there are other companies that have this type of a product. Wink of Stella is one of them. I'm sure there's others as well. And I'm sure that they all need to be stored the same way. And that is with the color, for Close to My Heart, the color at the top. And that means that your brush is pointing to the sky. Now, the reason for that is because the ink is all down in here. Okay, and if you stored it this way, you stand a chance of it all leaking out on you. Okay, and you don't want that. All right, so it's very important that your shimmer brushes always be stored upright so you can see the color on the top, and that means that the brush is pointing to the sky. Okay. Now, I actually use a lot of pieces from the Workspace Wonder that Close to My Heart carries, and this is one of the pieces. You can see it's divided into two, all right, and it's perfect. I have one of each of the shimmer brushes in here right now, minus one. There's a space because I was using it today. Anyways, this is a perfect way for you to store your shimmer brushes. Okay. So let's put that out of the way. Now I have another one of these cubbies. So you can see how it's divided into two here. And this I use for my writing tools. Okay, so this is completely opposite to the shimmer brushes. All right, so our journaling pens. This is a pewter one. That one is a black one. Okay, I always keep them stored with the lid down. All right, and the reason for that is because you want the ink to stay down here near the tip. Okay, otherwise it dries out and it's not useful anymore. And that's the same for our jelly rolls. All right, it's important that you keep these all stored with the lid down, and that way all of the ink stays down here close to the nib and the nib doesn't dry out. Same thing goes for our Melissa Esplin collection of brush pens. All right, we want to store those always so that the ink is all down here at the end, near the writing part. Okay, and then finally, this isn't an ink, but it is sort of, I guess, for embossing. All right, our embossing pens, you always want to keep those with the lid down. You want the ink to stay down here near the nib so that it stays saturated all the time. Okay. For that one. Moving on to our re-inkers. This is one place where it doesn't really matter how you store them the one thing I would probably recommend you not do is store them on their sides, because no matter how tightly you tighten these lids, temperatures change in the environment. Okay, things expand and contract, and they will leak. Okay, so you want to keep them probably, I guess you want to keep them upright. Now I'm just using a really old tray of Close to My Hearts. Okay, and I store my reinkers alphabetically. So I've got Bluebird, Candy Apple, Capri, and that way it's very easy for me to go in and find the ink that I want. All right, so that's reinkers. Now you see these ones that I've got laying on their sides. All right, now the thing that's different about these is that they have more than one end. All right, and so these types of inks need to be stored horizontally. All right, so I keep mine in, I keep my markers, all of my markers in trays that go this way. All right, and that way the ink is evenly distributed along the barrel, and one tip or the other will not dry out. Okay, so you've got your metallic markers. Okay, they have your barrel end, and then they have your bigger end. It's not quite a brush, but close. All right, and so there's just one barrel of ink in here to share between both ends. All right, so if you stored it this way, all the ink would run down to this end, and then vice versa. All right, same with our Spectrum Noir alcohol markers. And this, I think, goes for any type of marker that you have that has more than one end. All right, you want to keep the ink evenly distributed across across the barrel so that one tip doesn't run out of ink before the other one does. All right, that is it. I think I have covered everything. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them in the comments. If you like this video, if you find one tip that you can use, please let me know. I'm very happy when my viewers can learn a thing or two. Thank you very much for watching. This is Valerie at Sure Scraps A Lot, and we will be talking to you very, very soon.